If you ask me, that's not a real problem. You just don't have enough real-world experience.
The guy dramatically spreading his arms and shrugging, it's Atsuhiro Yaita. He's a coworker from my batch, but he's just so obnoxious. Before I know it, he's always starting some sketchy brag fest.
I'm the son of a major corporation's CEO, and I even competed in the national judo tournament back in high school. You've never experienced any of that, have you? That's the difference between us. Get it?
And just like that, today I just wanted to talk a little about handling a customer complaint in the store, and I got an earful 10 times longer in return.
And to top it all off, I have a super cute girlfriend. Sorry for being so happy.
How on earth does this guy have a girlfriend? It's a mystery. When his bragging gets to this point, it all starts to sound like a lie. So yeah, I'm Kazumi Otawara, the guy who's just sick of his nonsense, brushing him off with a half-hearted, you're so great. I'm 28 years old, an employee and sub-manager at a major coffee shop chain. Still stuck in the past, as usual. Pathetic. At this rate, I'll definitely be the one getting the next promotion. Yaita and I have been rivals since we joined the company, competing to see who will become a store manager first. Right now, we're working together at a large store in the city center, which also serves as the final training before being promoted to a manager.
Say what you want. I've already decided I'm gonna give my girlfriend a newly promoted me as a present.
So cringe. When he brings up his girlfriend this persistently, it actually makes me doubt if she's even real. But what's even more doubtful is how I've somehow ended up in a friendship with a guy like this. How did this happen? A week later, after finally completing several months of training, the day of the promotion announcement arrived.
I will now announce the official decision from headquarters regarding this period's evaluation. The one being promoted to manager is Kazumi Otawara. Your assigned store will be a new location in the northern part of T Prefecture. It's unusual for a new manager to be put in charge of a new store. Do your best to live up to headquarters' expectations.
The transfer would require me to move, but I was prepared for that since I was aiming for the promotion. It's a huge responsibility, but I will give it my all. As the other staff members congratulated me one by one on my promotion, Yaita, of course, was in the worst mood imaginable.
Northern Team Prefecture? Hey, that's my hometown. I don't want to speak ill of the place I was born and raised, but to put it mildly, it's just another rundown regional city you find in the countryside. Most of the young people have moved into the city, so even the area in front of the station is deserted. A new store in a town like that. Otawara, I'm worried about you. On top of being a total loser with women, this is basically a demotion.
Hey, Yaita, that's no way to talk to someone on the verge of a new start.
I'm just giving my old rival a dose of reality ahead of time. You could even call it a kind gesture, haha.
That's enough!
It's alright, manager. I'm used to Yaita's big mouth.
The other sub-managers will continue to be evaluated, with another announcement in 6 months. Stay sharp and keep up the hard work, that is all.
As soon as the manager finished talking, Yaita, still unable to stomach his frustration, started pestering me again.
Listen up, Otawara. Don't get cocky. This is just a little reward from God who took pity on a hopeless romantic like you.
His whining and complaining just wouldn't stop, but that was business as usual. I just turned him out and started thinking about my future prospects. However, what Yaita said wasn't entirely a lie or an exaggeration. The month after I received my orders, I moved and managed to get the new store open, but we've been struggling ever since. I never thought there'd be so little foot traffic. The large aging station building has many empty tenant spaces, and I hardly see any young people. Thanks to the many employees from the local top manufacturer Sakura headquartered nearby, there's a high demand for lunch. But once lunch is over, the crowds thin out in the evening, and with no nightlife district, the town gets pretty quiet at night.
Manager, if you look that gloomy, you'll scare away both good luck and customers.
Oh, Takanezawa. Hello. Will it be your usual brown sugar latte?
Yup, make it 2. I'm here with another colleague today.
This is Akira Takanezawa. He loves the atmosphere on our cafe's terrace and comes by almost every day. He works at the Sakura headquarters in the building across the street, and he told me his recent favorite thing to do is get his suits custom made at a small tailor shop behind the station. It seems there's a skilled tailor even in a rural place like this. The expensive looking suits he wears always look great on him. Thank you for bringing in another new customer today.
Of course. I'd be in trouble if my favorite cafe went out of business, wouldn't I? Besides, it's fun talking to you, manager. I bet a lot of people come here drawn in by your personality and charm.
Thanks to you, we've gained a lot of regulars, and I'm truly grateful. Takanezawa not only brings in many of his colleagues, but also promotes the store on his personal social media. He's a precious regular customer who supported us through the most difficult early days after opening. Thanks to Takanezawa's help, after 2 months, our sales finally reached a point where we could say we were on the right track. But while things at the store were settling down, something at home had started to bother me. There it is again. Why does she glare at me like that? I occasionally run into a woman who seems to live in the apartment building across from mine when I'm leaving for work or coming home. But for some reason, she always gives me a harsh look, as if I were some kind of suspicious person. Good morning.
Morning.
Man, she's definitely glaring at me. Did I do something to offend her? But no matter how much I rack my brain, I can't think of anything. Since she kept glaring at me with those sharp eyes every time we crossed paths in front of our apartments, I became convinced it wasn't just my imagination. So I decided to take a chance and ask her about it. I'm sorry to ask you out of the blue. Have I done something to you?
Something?
Well, I can't think of anything, so I've been worried about it for a while. I feel like you're always glaring at me, but I've thought and thought about it and can't figure out why. If I've done something to offend you or make you uncomfortable, I want to apologize. For some reason, the woman's eyes went wide at my words. Did I say something strange? Then, after thinking for a moment, she explained the situation to me.
I'm so sorry. I was being paranoid and made a terrible misunderstanding.
In the end, she was the one who apologized, bowing her head deeply. No, please, lift your head. I'm really okay. The reason she'd been glaring at me was that she thought I might be the one stalking her. Hearing that, her sharp gazes and attitude all made sense. I mean, I'm not bothered at all, but could you just tell me why you thought that?
Well, I saw you putting a chair out on your balcony to just gaze into the distance. It's not like you're on a tropical island, so I thought you were a weirdo.
What? She knew that my favorite thing to do is enjoy the cool night breeze on my balcony?
Even though it was getting chilly, I thought you were coming out to the balcony just to peep into my room, and it totally creeped me out. On top of that, we started running into each other on the street so often, I became convinced I was being stalked.
I'm so sorry. I would never try to peep. I don't even know which room is yours.
I'm sorry, please don't come any closer right now.
Once the battle of apologies between the one who misunderstood and the one who caused the misunderstanding finally came to an end, she introduced herself.
I'm so sorry for everything. My name is Yui Nakagawa. I had a police issue with a persistent stalker before, so I think I've become more guarded than most people.
I'm Kazumi Otawara. If that's what's happened, I completely understand. What kind of person was he?
He's the type of person who fundamentally doesn't listen to others and jumps to his own conclusions.
When she said that, the annoying face Yaita makes when he's bragging popped into my head. After that, we started chatting whenever we saw each other, and I even began giving her advice. By the time we exchanged contact information, she started visiting me at the cafe where I work.
I was so surprised to learn our workplaces were this close.
My cafe is on the second floor of the Lovekoi building in front of the station. and she works at a dry cleaner's on the first floor of the building diagonally across from it. I can see her shop from her terrace, but we never ran into each other anywhere but in front of her apartments. And so, Nakagawa and I became good neighbors, but...
Lately, it seems like a new stalker has appeared.
Nakagawa contacted me for advice, and she told me she felt like she was being followed by an unknown man. For now, I had her thoroughly lock up her place, which is something she could do immediately, and I promised to be available for contact anytime I wasn't at work. Furthermore, I decided to check the streets for any suspicious individuals during my evening cooldowns on the balcony.
Thank you. Just knowing I have an ally makes me feel so much stronger.
Luckily, our workplaces and homes are close. It's okay. If anything happens, call me right away. Just as I hung up with Nakagawa, I got a call from a guy I hadn't heard from in a while. The timing was so perfect that I instinctively braced myself.
Long time no see. Have you been?
The caller was Yaita, but his tone was lower than usual, as if he was trying to feel me out. I'm doing great. It's rare to get a call from you. What's up?
I kept it a secret from you, but I've actually been coming back to my hometown. I mean, over there, pretty frequently recently.
Why didn't you contact me when you were here? I gave you the store's address, and even my home address.
You know, deep down, you really like me. Otherwise, you wouldn't tell me where you live.
I'm never contacting you again, and you're not welcome at my place either.
Wait, I'm sorry. It's just, a lot has been going on, you know. I was busy. I'll definitely stop by next time, I promise.
I see. After making that comment that sounded like he was holding something back, he hung up the phone as if to escape. From then on, I was constantly on edge, whether at work or at home. When I arranged to meet Nakagawa and walk home together, nothing happened, but...
There was a time when I was walking alone, and when I suddenly looked back, I saw someone in a mask and sunglasses quickly run away.
She would tell me things like that. Still, it wasn't like I could be with her every single day. We went to the police to report it, but since there was no actual harm done yet, and the perpetrator was unknown, all they could do was increase patrols in the area. I guess I'll have to make a request on my end, too. Then, a few days later on Saturday, the situation took a sudden turn.
Oh, Tawada, can you come to the front of the apartment building?
Huh? Okay. I had just worked the morning shift and was relaxing when a call from Nakagawa sent me rushing out of my house. Yaita! So it was you after all. Hoping against hope, I ran down the stairs and out onto the street, where Yaita was standing next to a stunned Nakagawa. I clenched my fists tightly and took a step toward Yaita.
Wait, you're wrong! This person saved me!
Huh? I stopped myself just milliseconds before punching Yaita.
Whoa there, what do you think you're doing to this hero who just saved the damsel in distress?
Saved her? This guy? What do you mean? Nakagawa and Yaita told me what had just happened.
Actually, I was on my way to your place. Then I saw this guy who looked super suspicious, wearing a mask and sunglasses. We were heading in the same direction, so I was walking behind him when I noticed this woman walking ahead of the guy. He said his behavior seemed strange, so he decided to watch him just in case. And that's when he noticed a dangerous object the man was holding. He was holding something that looked like a spray can. I just knew this was a dangerous situation. Then the man suddenly started running towards the woman, so I immediately chased after him and caught him.
I heard footsteps, and when I turned around in surprise, he was about to spray me. You really saved me.
He was resisting like crazy, so I had no choice but to use my specialty, the shoulder throw. It's dangerous for an amateur who can't break their fall, but guys like that are an exception.
The man hit his back hard, lost the will to fight, and then ran off as fast as he could.
It was a perfect ippon, like something out of the Olympics. Thank you again, so much.
Nah, it's nothing. I just competed in the nationals a bit back in the day.
Did you get a look at the man's face?
No, it all happened in a flash. And he was wearing sunglasses and a mask.
I let out a heavy sigh. If we don't know who he is, she could be in danger again. If you were going to throw him, you should have knocked him out so we could identify him.
What did he say? He was a guy carrying pepper spray. He might have had other weapons hidden. I couldn't have done more than that. More importantly, you suspected me of being her stalker, didn't you? What's the big idea?
Well, that's what you get for your usual bad behavior, right? I was completely sure you were the culprit.
What was that?
Both of you, please calm down.
She was surprised that the man who had coincidentally passed by and saved her was an acquaintance of mine, so I introduced him as a coworker and a friend I was stuck with.
You have some interesting friends, Otawara.
Although something dangerous had just happened, I was relieved to see the smile return to Nakagawa's face. I was ready to end her friendship at any moment, but after today's favor, I guess I can't anymore.
I'm just grateful to have two reliable allies now. Thank you so much for everything today.
We watched Nakagawa bow deeply and enter the apartment building across the street. Then, I took Yaita back to my apartment.
Seriously, why was I treated like a stalking suspect?
I'm really sorry. It's because you were hiding the fact you were in town. Or rather, it's your usual behavior.
You don't even feel sorry, do you, you jerk?
Well, I'm glad I was wrong. I don't want to suspect a friend, and I don't want to think of you as the culprit.
I'm sorry, Kazumi-chan. So you were that worried about me.
Stop it! Get off me! That's not what I meant!
Don't be shy, don't be shy. I love that straightforward in a twisted way part of you.
Stop saying creepy stuff and get off me before I kick you! A few seconds later, Yaita's dead body was complete. It's his own fault for nuzzling my cheek.
So, what was the reason you came all this way to see me?
Once Yaita came back to life, I asked him what I had been wondering about, offering some expensive snacks as an apology.
Well, I thought I should probably tell you in person. Otawara, our rivalry to see who gets promoted first is over. I've decided to quit the company.
What? He told me that the reason he had come to his hometown so many times was to discuss taking over the company with his father, the president.
The talks were tough. That's why I couldn't get in touch with you even when I was here. Please forgive me.
Is that all? I thought it was something serious from the look on your face. It's not like our relationship will change just because we work at different places.
You're right. Yeah, that's the kind of guy you are. I forgot.
But if you're ever in trouble, I'll at least listen. Just being the president's son gets you disliked. And on top of that, you have that personality, right? I'm sure you'll have a hard time.
Ha! You should worry about not letting your own store go under.
We laughed, telling each other how annoying we still were. And then, without a word, we shook hands firmly. After that, I had Yaita recall every single detail he could remember about the culprit he had thrown. 2 days later, on Monday evening, I was on the other side of the station. The usually deserted shopping street seems to get a little more crowded during the evening rush hour. And among the office workers on their way home, there was one man carrying a high-end suit. Hello, are you on your way home from work?
But manager, what a coincidence to see you here.
Yes, I never expected to see you on this side of town. Are you visiting the tailor, Takanazawa?
Yes, it's just barely open at this hour on weekdays.
Right, I think they're closed on Sundays. Huh? Your suit. The right sleeve looks like it's about to rip off.
This, I messed up a little. It ended up like this before I knew it.
That's terrible. You've been walking a bit awkwardly too. You must have taken quite a hit. Could it be that you're seriously injured? Come to think of it, your posture seems a little off too.
Actually, I hurt my back a little. Oh, I'm so embarrassed you saw through me.
Your back? That sounds like a pretty serious injury. When did you get hurt? If you haven't seen a doctor yet, you should go right away. When I said that in a panic, he chuckled as if he found it amusing, and his strained smile changed to a gentle one.
Thank you for your concern. I haven't been to a doctor, but I managed to put a compress on it, so I'll be fine. I got injured 2 days ago, so it's not that bad now.
Oh, 2 days ago, you say?
Otawara?
Shoot, he sensed the change in the atmosphere. In that case, I grabbed both of his arms firmly. No, leaving it like this is not good. There's a place you need to go.
Well, but if that's the case, at least let me drop off my suit first. No, there's no time for that. The police? Akira Takanezawa, correct? We need you to come down to the station with us for a moment.
As Takanezawa tried to run, I held him back by gripping him tightly. That's right, Takanezawa was the one who was stalking Nakagawa. To be honest, I wasn't completely sure he was the culprit from the start. But the description Yaita gave me 2 days ago.
He was pretty tall. The way he felt when I threw him, he seemed pretty well built. Oh, and he was wearing a suit. It was probably custom made. I know a good suit when I see one because of my family's business, so I'm sure of it. And the right shoulder part was torn.
Many of the details pointed to Takanezawa, so being here today was honestly a gamble. The day of the injury and the location of the injury matched, plus the torn expensive suit. And most importantly, I know he was working on Saturday because I heard it from his colleague on Saturday morning.
So you were friends with that guy?
After I finished speaking, he glared at me with hatred. In response, the police officer's eyes sharpened. I didn't want to believe it, but the reason you came to my cafe so often is now confirmed. I'm shocked to learn it was so you could watch Nakagawa working at the dry cleaners across the street from the terrace seats.
The police can't act until something happens, but we can patrol the area. After hearing the details from the manager, who we're indebted to, I figured that if you were the culprit, you go to the tailor after work this week. That's why I was patrolling this area at this time. Now, come with us. Or would you rather wait for a warrant? Attempting to spray someone could lead to charges of attempted assault, or attempted quasi-forcible sexual intercourse.
Damn it!
And just like that, Takanezawa was taken away. Seeing the pathetic state of a regular customer I had been genuinely grateful for, I felt an indescribable mix of emotions as I called Nakagawa. Things moved quickly after that. Although Takanezawa denied it, his image was captured on the apartment's security camera, and his crime was easily proven. Later, Yaita's fingerprints were found on the suit they examined, leaving him with no way to escape.
I thought if I just used a sleeping spray to take her with me, and let her get to know me, she'd fall for me instantly. Never mind some creepy otaku, my looks are popular with women, and my personality and income are great too, right?
No matter how good looking, nice, and wealthy someone is, a person who would go as far as to use sleeping spray to abduct someone is completely out of the question. As a result of various kidnapping tools being found at his home, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison. Of course, he was also fired from his company. About 2 months after all that commotion, on a spring night when the cherry blossoms were just beginning to bloom, Nakagawa and I were at a restaurant to thank Yaita. And what's more, Yaita's proudly touted cute girlfriend was with us. It seems she moved to this town with Yaita as well.
What's with you two? You seem so restless. Are you that shocked by how cute my girlfriend is?
No, it's just, I can't believe all those sketchy stories you used to brag about were actually true.
You didn't believe a single word I said?
Anyway, this is for you. A thank you gift from us, and a present to celebrate your new job. I gave him a tie that he could use for work, and Nakagawa gave him a discount ticket for her shop.
I've never worked a job that required a suit before, so this is a big help. By the way, when are you two getting together? I mean, I thought you were already a couple.
At his sudden question, both Nakagawa and I could only blush, unable to find the next words. Our relationship started with her mistaking me for a peeping Tom from the balcony, and because of that, I couldn't muster the courage and have let things drag on until today. The reason Atsuhiro has a cute girlfriend and I don't, The difference between us is confidence. I mustered up more courage than I ever had before, looked into Nakagawa's eyes, and took a deep breath. Even after we became a couple, and then husband and wife, Yaita would continue to protect Nakagawa from the stalker after he finished his sentence, even using his family's influence to do so. He would say it's only natural for his best friend's precious person, and I would realize that he had settled into the role of a friend before I knew it because deep down he's a good guy. The future where I finally learned to be honest with myself, laughing and sharing drinks with my best friend, listening to his complaints and sometimes lecturing him back, that's still a little ways off.
Hello, Brittany here. Didn't have very many lines this episode, but it was still a fantastic episode, so I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!